Who really runs you? Does religion run you? Does your government run you? Do you think you are intelligent enough and cool enough to think you run yourself? Do you believe in the news? Do you choose to subscribe in your evening news to all the performers that gracefully play their part as they perform and read across the teleprompter in every state, in every country, the same bullshit? Do you subscribe into being brainwashed and whitewashed, you know? Or are you awoke or awakening or trying to awake? Um, because the end result is to get yourself out of books and into your head, no matter what you see on all these other videos. One thing they're not spitting, what I see a lot, is a whole bunch of non-peace. Everybody's got their own form of this and their own reason why that. Uh, I see a lot of minority debates that go on, and it's almost like battle rapping. It's just like they've taken religious issues and true in their form, the way they teach it, like they demonize it. When I look at this shit and I watch this shit, um, their names are out there. Like Polite, Young Pharaoh, SETI, and many others that claim that they're awoke, but they they don't understand who the real enemy is. I think, I choose to cuss. I choose to use foul language, you know, but does that have a lasting effect on the memory? Because, see, here's the thing. When I think of certain individuals in the black movement, as far as spirituality is concerned, I remember a lot of basically cuss words. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really getting a whole bunch of knowledge because there's so much anger and aggression in what's already been said. It's like I'm not really hearing anything new from nobody. It's just regurgitated to the point now to where everybody's got to scream and cuss and be so one-sided. You have to be balanced. You know what I'm saying? You got to be balanced. If you don't understand how to balance yourself out, how can you be a teacher? How can you tell somebody else to believe in you when the dialect and the etiquette, I'm ghetto as fuck, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get out to 10th grade, you know what I'm saying, uh, from the projects, but I elevated myself. I still get down, you know what I'm saying? If I have to get in the streets and do the damn thing, motherfuckers know me. They know everybody from my hood, you know what I'm saying? Shout out East Linden, you know how we do that. Um, but I'm getting older. And in my age, I've learned to pay attention to things and not the front page. I've learned to set the book down and really understand what the clown of me has manifested into and the reason why the clown of me has manifested. And it's due to things like music, it's due to things like TV, it's due to things like materialistic shit. I don't get caught up in rings and chains and shit like that. This is a spiritual movement, and in spirituality, there isn't too much material gain to get. You know, I'd never ask for a donation. I'd never ask for anything. You know what I'm saying? Because the main thing here is to be awake and start awakening, you know? And it don't cost a thing to ride with me. My tickets are free, you know? All you have to do is hop on and learn a little something. But you won't learn hate, you won't learn division, you won't learn strife. You'll learn strife, but as far as it's modern day strife, what people need to understand is who the ruling factor is. You know, I hear a lot about these awakened and conscious societies, you know, this Deuteronomy's shit, and I mean, how many times can we fall back on a book, a book that a man wrote? What men? Who knows? But they were originally in Latin, which makes me think Greek, you know. And then, you can't stop with the Egyptians. A lot of these conscious individuals seem to get locked into this Egyptian state of mind. And, there's religions that go back farther than the Egyptians. I just like to think the Egyptians were the first ones to really, the originators of propaganda, the originators of I was here and I ruled, Now, colors is colors and this is that. Bottom line is who's ruling who now. And that's the situation we're dealing with, you know. Um, they say the same 13 bloodlines have ran the society since day one. So therefore, if it's those same 13 bloodlines, then it makes you wonder about what, when you see Egyptian artifacts and things of this nature, what were the true meanings behind these things, um, and what do they really stand for? Because it's only interpretation for the most part. Um, Hieroglyphics, this is Masons teaching us this stuff for the most part, you know. So you have to go out and seek this knowledge on your own, independently. You know, you can't. I see too many people falling back on books and not real logic and just basically breaking it down on how things really work and what it really is. You know, too many people fall back into old books, old stories, and with a bunch of foul language caught up in that. And where's the Most High in that? You know, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with aggression, but I do believe myself, if you want a true audience and you want real followers, you must show that humbleness. You know, aggression. There's a time and a place for that, but when you want to teach and you want to spit game, I feel like you should truly be humble with your audience because they are not your enemy. You know, aggression only begets aggression. So therefore, how do you spit true knowledge, and how does your audience gain true knowledge from aggression? It just sounds like a bunch of war talk that in the end is basically a death trap because none of us are ready for what's really going on. They've got us all divided to the point that we all have special qualities. We all have equalities. Each race has their pros and cons. None are any better than the next, you know? Just in certain situations and certain times of the year does that help your body out for certain races. Other than that, we all can survive in any climate, you know? Otherwise, there would only be one color, and that would be the color that was the most resistant to this world. And I don't see that. I see a multicolor, multi ethnic world that has been divided and been conquered through books, through the satanic altar, the, the television, but I like to call it the satanic family altar because everybody seems to get their knowledge from that. It's wild. It's like, wow, man. You know, I don't believe in stacking up videos. I don't believe in stacking up books. I believe that this and this and this right here will retain everything you need because the DNA will always record the most important shit. You know, you should never have to be You shouldn't have to get caught up in your teachings and run to a book to claim it makes it relevant when most of these books were written by Masons, Black Boule, you name it. Any type of literature you you obtain, if you don't heed it and read it and understand it properly, only the public knows what that manifests into, because the individual that is delivering that message doesn't understand, because he's so blinded in his openness, as far as almost logic gets pushed away to the side a little bit because a book says this. And we're dealing with logic. We're dealing with what's really real here. And what's really real is all races are here, you know. And why are we in division? I have no idea, because, you know, I'm from an area in Columbus, Ohio, where it's multi-ethnic. We have everything. It's a melting pot. We have Nepal. We have people from all walks of Africa. We have people from whites, blacks. We have Japanese, Mexican. We have everything across the board. So, and I don't see no stripe in my community. We all get along, you know. All of us get along, even though we all have our own form of religion. I don't see anybody attacking each other over religious factions yet, unless we push it to that as a society. Uh, but I feel like the people that claim they're conscious and don't spread a unified message, because see, here's the beginning and the ending of it all. If nobody is enlightened to what's really going on, then what's the point in teaching if you're only trying to segregate knowledge to a certain race? Um, and then you ask for money for that knowledge. That sounds like a fraud to me. That sounds like you have no answers. You only go to you go to what you go to a book, or you go to something you can say this is because of this and this scholar and this. These people got degrees and scholars for a reason. These people are our enemies. You know, there's only twos and fews that you should believe in, and you should really, really do research into who and what you believe in. Is this individual really real, son? You know, is these individuals in our history who's been assassinated, were they assassinated, and why? You know, main question you should be asking yourself is, why were certain individuals assassinated in the public's eyes? You know, because there's there's a way this world works. You know, there's the blue bloods, there's the bankers, there's the billionaires, and then there's us. You understand? And here's the thing: don't let the media and don't let anything get you twisted, because there are black billionaires, and there's not just Oprah Winfrey. What that TV pushes is making us lower class ethnic individuals feel like we have to be against each other. And if you really travel and see the world, you'll see the riches are abundant everywhere. 53% of the world is rich in all colors, billionaires, millionaires, you know. So I don't feed into to the I feed into, if you're in a Serbian community, if you're brought up in a Serbian situation, what you're taught is going to be fucked up, and the way you brought up is going to be fucked up, because our entertainment is truly fucking Luciferian. Everything you watch, down to the talk shows, are Luciferian. Nothing is spiritual. Everything is a worldly topic. Black, white, Israeli, it doesn't matter across the board. You're being blinded by religion, you know, by all religions. So until you, the only way you can really and truly be awoken and awake is to know astrology, learn your astrology, read those books, enjoy them for what they are, but then read all the other great books too that are out there, all the other scrolls that are out there, because it enlightens you more. It expands the story, and it makes the saga more smoother and more easier and more transparent. Because see, the churches like to keep everything hidden, but there's a reason why there's certain books that's not in the Bible, you know, and not canon, is because they are the missing links to the puzzle that makes everything so transparent to astrology and to, did certain individuals really live, or is this just some astrological bullshit that high priests and your government like to push on you? Who knows? Only you know. You have to open your eyes and you have to realize what is what. Um, Fear your government, and even more, fear your church, because they'll be the ones to corral you in the end. They'll be your peaceful leaders that make you think it's okay to become self-servient and uh, a piece of shit to the rich. And then you know what? They'll be the next in line. After there's no more of us, then they get to be the next ones to get chewed on. And then after that, it'll be the millionaire in the billionaires and down to where it's just like they say, the 13 original bloodlines, and how many ever serf servants they want to keep around. So the story goes, if you want to believe into that um, wild ass shit, you know. Yeah, they write it, and yeah, you know, a lot of things that they've written down in history has happened. I'm talking prior to these things happening, what they've written down has actually happened. Um, I suggest everybody read Morals and Dogma, Albert Pike. Um, Understand what this man is talking about and what this enlightened society is trying to accomplish. You know, understand who the chain of rulers. You know, understand when you're dealing with Masons. Masons don't believe in color. They don't believe in religion. They're all brothers. You know, black, white, Islamic. You think the boogeyman is the boogeyman, but the boogeyman is really cool with the good guys too. Everybody is down with everybody. It's all a drama. The world is a stage, and we're set up just to watch all this shit motherfucking wind out, scene for scene, set up just the way they want. And until we all wake up and understand what's really going on, and what's really going on is we're all being played, totally played, um, because too many people choose to stay stuck in books. Too many people choose to stay stuck in science, um, um, pseudosciences. You know, you have to understand the pros and cons of everything you research. You have to understand, and when you get good at it, you start being able to throw the shit away that you don't need. And that's the sad part about what I see about certain individuals is it's like they take this information and want to rush it out to you. And sometimes it's not real. Sometimes it's the imagination that fools you and makes yourself look like an ass. Even myself, because in no way, shape, fashion, or form am I perfect. I'm only human, just like you. Um, but I choose to be on a different path than modern society. I don't like to stay plugged into my TV. I like to stay attached to knowledge. I like to stay attached to the community, the people in my community. I don't get caught up in religion. I don't put gates up because of color or because of creed. I learn and be and try to become a friend to all. And that's the real message behind true equality in this knowledge game. It isn't about how much you think you know and what the last person don't know. It's about what you know, what you can pass on, and what we all can build off of. And it don't cost $1 with me, people. It don't cost nothing. All you have to do is check out the video. The videos will, they'll build. You know, I'm just getting back at it. It's been a while, but that's all right. Um, I'm back in the game. I'm back to defrag society for you. Sometimes it's biblical. Sometimes it's very basic. But what it isn't, it doesn't cost money. It's all for free. The Awoken Soldier. One thug, one love. I love you all. Stay awoke. If you are awoke, if you're not, prepare yourself for a wild adventure because the rabbit holes are wild, deep, and continuous. So, but navigate through the bullshit. The Matrix can trick you up and twist you up and have you all fucked up. But in the end, be fair to each other. Listen to listen to everyone. There's a reason why you have two ears and one mouth. Sometimes it's better just to shut the fuck up and listen to what the fuck is, even if it's a fool talking. You don't have to react. The reaction is your mental awakening of this person's bullshit, you know? So sometimes you don't need a reaction. Sometimes the best reaction is just not to react because it's all about humbleness, you know? How can you be spiritually awoken without being righteous? When you have this desire and this lust for these aggressive sermons and teachings, it only take you so far. We're all one, as one, and should be for one. And never forget that. Don't let your government, don't let your church, and don't let your satanic family altar the music that you listen to persuade the way you feel about your neighbors and your individuals in your community. We're all here to learn off each other and to help each other. Be safe, be awoken, and understand everything is your enemy. It's not a color. Everything is your enemy. Even you. You have to logically think your way through the maze and the obstacles of this world. And that's the only way it works. Be careful, be safe, stay alive, stay awoke, and I'm gone.